What's up guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to do a backside 180. So the foot position for this trick, when I first started learning these, I was putting my front foot right over the front bolts. But I found I wasn't getting a lot of pop, so I started moving my front foot back just like you would for an ollie if you're not getting enough pop. So I put my front foot a little farther back on these, and I like to put my back foot right in the middle of the tail, maybe a little bit towards the toe side edge, just so I can get a little more scoop. So with this trick, it's all in the shoulders, even more than it is in the front side 180. Before you even pop this trick, you have to really turn your head and your shoulders. When you're first learning this trick, you might want to hang your toes off a little bit on your back foot and kind of push your back foot forward a little bit more so you can get more scoop. But over time, I feel like it's better to move my heel back a little bit on my back foot and just put my back foot right in the middle of the tail, because I feel like I stay centered over my board better that way. And one of the most important things about this trick is staying centered right over the board, because I tend to fall off of the board towards the front with this trick sometimes. So having my feet right in the middle of the board just kind of keeps me centered over the board the entire time. I did this entire video with really soft wheels, but normally you're going to want a harder wheel when you're first learning backside 180s, because it gives you a little bit of slide at the end. So if you don't rotate the trick all the way around, you can kind of slide a little bit at the end. So yeah, a harder wheel is good for this trick when you're first learning. I did this entire video with a soft wheel, and for me, that helped me just pop the trick the entire way without having to rely on sliding. I've never been good at backside 180s. I've always really relied on a lot of slide. I do feel like I'm good at backside power slides, but I've never really been good at backside 180s. So having that softer wheel forced me to rotate the board all the way around without relying on that slide at the end. Another practice step you could do for the backside 180 is to do it without the board. Just run sideways, jump, turn your shoulders, and do the backside 180 motion without a skateboard. That's going to get you used to turning backwards. It's that turning backwards that a lot of people have trouble with when they're first learning this trick. Also, a lot of times when I'm doing backside 180s, I'll kind of dip my head down a little bit and it will throw me off the board. It'll throw me a little bit forward. So just try to keep your back straight. Try to stand up straight on this trick. It's always a trick that I have had trouble with, and a lot of people have trouble with this trick. I didn't really talk about the ollie part of this trick, but you guys know if you're learning backside 180s, you've probably already learned how to ollie. So after you turn your shoulders, you're gonna pop. Push your back foot down and drag your front foot up just like an ollie. So your shoulders are already about 90 when you pop. The board's gonna go to 90 pretty quick, and then as it's coming down, it's gonna go the other 90, and you're gonna land and roll away. I did a video a few days ago about 5 easy beginner tricks, and in that video I have a tip for backside 180s, because I'm talking about kind of a backside power slide off a ledge, so that might be a good video to kind of help you if you're just learning this trick. And just do a little pivot all the way around, fall off the ledge, and roll away. I feel like this is easier than doing a backside 180, and it's definitely a good practice step. You can do these front side or backside. It's just easier to get the full 180 motion when you're coming off a ledge. So first off, to practice this trick, you want to set your board right on the ledge like you're doing a 50-50, and you want to turn your shoulders first. And as you turn your shoulders, you're going to lift your weight off your front foot, put it on your back foot, and just pivot around. This is probably the easiest way to learn the backside 180 motion. You're just lifting your front wheels up, turning your shoulders, and falling off the ledge. So after you've got that down, this trick is basically just combining what we learned earlier about rolling off the ledge with that little backside 180. if you're having trouble with that last one, you could actually learn backside power slides first, but I feel like that is a easier trick and it's a good beginner step to doing power slides. So with the power slide, you're just doing that on flat. Let me try to do some. Backside power slides can be a great beginner step for backside 180s. So this is a pretty basic trick. The only problems I've ever really had with this trick are not staying centered over the board and not getting the full rotation. So not staying centered over the board, you just have to consciously think about staying centered over the bolts, not leaning too far back or too far forward. When you land, if you're leaning too far forward, the board's just gonna shoot out and you're gonna fall. So you just have to consciously think about staying centered over the board. And for me, keeping my feet right in the middle of the board the entire time, when I pop, when I rotate, and when I land, that helps me stay centered over the board. Also, just thinking about my shoulders staying over the bolts the entire time really helps me stay centered over the board. Now, as far as not getting the whole rotation, the main thing that helps me is to move my front foot back a little bit. It gives me a little more pop and a little more time to rotate. You could try doing this trick off ledges or out of ramps. That definitely helps when you're first learning the trick too, because it gives you a little more time to get that full rotation. And like I said before, if you're just not getting enough scoop, just hang your toes off a little bit, get a little more scoop. That might help you. I feel like backside 180s are one of those tricks that people just put on the back burner. They just forget about. They learn ollies, frontside 180s, shove-its, front shoves, kick flips. They want to jump into flip tricks, but they just kind of forget about the backside 180 because they already know how to frontside 180, and frontside 180s are just so much easier and they feel so much more natural that a lot of times this trick just gets put aside and forgotten about. But it is an important trick, and it's definitely a good one for a game of skate because a lot of people can't do backside 180s even though they're a very basic trick. This trick is essential for learning so many other tricks. Backside flips, backside big spins, back disasters, all kinds of tricks. So I definitely think it's worth learning. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, reviews, tutorials, and just videos about what I'm learning as I grow as a skateboarder, then hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.
me.